Apple should buy Bitcoin, according to Michael Saylor's tweet, as their share buyback disappoints. And Saylor also predicts Bitcoin soaring 12,328% to 13 million per coin. He was also on the news on TV today, projecting Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin a lot sooner than many of you are anticipating. So let's break all this down and shout out to the Giga Chad. There is no second best. So let's break this baby down. Apple, the world's fourth largest company by market cap, should buy Bitcoin to address the poor performance of its stock buyback program, according to the executive chairman of strategy, Mikey Saylor. In fact, he actually responded to Jim Cramer on X and said Apple should buy Bitcoin. Saylor's comment responded to Cramer's criticism of the Apple buyback program. As outlined right here, Cramer wrote, "The Apple buyback is not working right now. The company can leave it in to earn a lot or can take some to integrate. It is not a badge of dishonor. It just isn't." And then Saylor responded, "Shut the fuck up, Jim Cramer. Apple should buy Bitcoin." Precisely. Apple's buyback program aims to reduce the number of outstanding shares and return the value to the investors, according to the $110 billion stock buyback program, which was announced May of last year with the filing with the U.S. SEC. And here you're looking at one of their charts. Apple stock has declined more than 17% since the start of the year. I mean, Bitcoin would definitely be a game changer for them. And I know, like, Steve Wozniak is extremely bullish on Bitcoin. If you've never listened to his interviews, we have covered them multiple times throughout the years. Over the same period, Bitcoin has gained more than 17%. According to data from TradingView, zooming out, Bitcoin surged over 1,000%, which is virtually a 10x in the past 5 years, compared to the 137% increase in Apple shares. So it's outperforming Apple by a factor of roughly, 9x or more. Now, the call for Apple to adopt Bitcoin comes as more companies move to add the crypto to the balance sheet. On May 28th, U.S. video game consumer electronics retailer GameStop announced its first Bitcoin investment, acquiring 4,710 Bitcoin for $513 million. And I believe that announcement came from the big conference in Vegas when the firm launched a $1.3 billion convertible notes offering. Here's the official announcement announced from GameStop themselves on X. We also have the Japanese investment company MetaPlanet spearheading Bitcoin adoption. They just made a massive announcement to raise $5.4 billion worth of capital to buy more Bitcoin. We covered that in great detail yesterday. If they follow through with their very bullish plan, they can become one of the largest holders of Bitcoin, obviously, following MicroStrategy. Now, over in Europe, Paris-based crypto firm The Blockchain Group announced plans to raise $340 million for their Bitcoin treasury, and the announcement came a week after the firm acquired $68 million worth of Bitcoin, pushing the total holdings to 1,471 Bitcoin, or over 154 million. Meanwhile, as we discussed, the spot Bitcoin ETFs have been accumulating like a mofo. BlackRock now has well over 600,000 Bitcoin, leading the race for the institutions. I also want to touch upon this. Michael Saylor predicts Bitcoin soaring 12,328% to 13 million per coin over the course of the next 20 years. And I actually transcribed one of his recent interviews with Natalie Brunell from Coin Stories, and I feel it's relative here. So here's quoting the Giga Chad, and I transcribed it myself, so I know it's 100% accurate. "I think the best way to get 100x returns as an individual," which was the question he was asked by Natalie, "would be keep your day job so to maximize the cash flow you generate by whatever your profession is." So don't quit your day job. "You're responsible on your expenditures. You have to think in the year 2045, 20 years out. I think a Bitcoin's worth 13 million. And I dare say that's conservative. So every Bitcoin you don't buy is really a $13 million cost. Exactly. So that Rari you're going to buy is going to cost you 6 Bitcoin. And so it's going to be a $100 million Rari if you look out 20 years. So you have to keep your job unless you're already insanely rich. Don't splurge on the Rari. Buy the 6 Bitcoin instead. And with regard to the leverage, the intelligent leverage for the individual is generally long dated. For example, mid-dated mortgage debt. So if I have any kind of property like a house, I would put a long mortgage on it, 10, 15, 20-year mortgage, especially a conforming loan, and then roll it over into Bitcoin, because mortgage debt is not marked to market. It's against an asset which is fairly stable. Normally, the interest rates are subsidized by a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac program or government program. So it is the cheapest form of permanent capital that someone could get. So I give you what you should not do. You should not quit your job. You should not splurge on sports cars you can't afford, such as buying those Ferraris or Lambos. And don't buy a yacht because it's insanely expensive. And don't pay off your mortgage. Don't get debt free. There's some advice from the Giga Chad. I mean, obviously, I don't really have to add anything to that, but I do want to dive a little deeper into this particular prediction he made on CNBC's Squawk Box. Saylor has once again doubled down on his bullish Bitcoin outlook. Speaking on Squawk Box, he predicted Bitcoin reaching a jaw-dropping 13 million per coin within 20 years, which is a surge of 12,328% from the current price. Saylor first made this prediction back at the 2024 Bitcoin conference last year in Nashville, the same conference Trump was at, projecting a 29% annual return. He's even more optimistic now, raising that to a 40% annual growth rate, which can push Bitcoin to 13 million per coin a lot sooner. But you guys, let me know your thoughts surrounding that. And the million-dollar question, will Apple eventually adopt Bitcoin and put it on the balance sheet? Well, any of the other top companies, I think it's Nvidia, multi-trillion-dollar market cap. We have Apple, we have Microsoft, and we have Alphabet. Those are, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the largest companies by market cap. When will they start adopting Bitcoin? We have Amazon up there as well. I think that's going to be the real game changer. I think when retail especially also adopts it, for example, a Walmart, which is one of the largest retailers in the world, or Amazon, which I would dare say is the largest online retailer, and start incentivizing people to use their Bitcoin, they're going to save billions of dollars in merchant fees from the legacy payment rails like MasterCard or Visa, Amex or whatever. And it's also going to be advantageous for you guys because maybe they give you a 10% discount to incentivize the Bitcoiner to actually spend their Bitcoin. You got to incentivize us. Otherwise, we're just hodling for life. Take that, motherfuckers. Just saying. But anyways, there you have it, yo. And we're going to continue with the uncensored version of the pod exclusive on X and Rumble. So if you're watching on the YouTube, you ain't got to go home. But the stream is going to end. I encourage you to join us. I'm going to stick around for a bonus hour, live with the Nipinator indicator, live and in the flesh, and we'll go from there. So deuces to the YouTube. Head on over to the Rumble. The direct link is rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or join us on X, and let's continue with the live stream.